Hi everybody, it's Bolla again. So, if you're my friends and family, subscribe to my channel and like this video. You owe me one. I've been laughing at your jokes for years now. Today we're going to be talking about liftoff day. So, you've planned your trip to Panama, you've chosen it as a destination, and you've done all your preparation that I advised you to do, and now it's due date. You're looking at flights now, you're starting to plan the dates of your trip. Very exciting! I do have some advice in regards to methods to get here. If you're gonna fly to Panama, this applies to anybody coming to Panama, but if you're South African, it helps. If you're gonna fly to Panama, I would strongly recommend that you use Turkish Airlines as your mode of transportation. If you book your tickets on Turkish Airlines on the actual website, then you qualify for free accommodation with your layover in Istanbul. People, it doesn't sound like much, but that saved our lives. So the flight from South Africa to Panama City is a 3-day trip. It could be 2 days depending on how your flights are, or 3 days. That complimentary accommodation, which means you get out of transit, you get out of the airport, you get to lie on a soft bed in a 4-star hotel, it's a game changer. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the actual tickets. Make sure to go check. If you're flying to Panama, it's never a straight flight. You will be having a layover somewhere, and some countries recommend or request that you have a visa for that country even if you're in transit. That means even if you never leave the airport, you still need a visa. In Turkey, South Africans can apply for a visa online or an e-visa. You can do that beforehand if you're nervous, or you can just, when you get there at the airport, go to any Turkish Airlines associate or personnel, and they can also help you apply. And it's as easy as that. Not a problem at all. Make sure that if you book your tickets, that you do it on Turkish Airlines directly and not through an agency like TripAdvisor or Expedia or even like Flight Center, which is an agent in South Africa. Because if you go through them, the complimentary accommodation doesn't apply. Now, when you go onto the Turkish Airlines website, you can see an entire week's rates at once. So you pick your date that you want to departure, and it shows you the entire week which that date falls into, what the rates are for each day. What I did is I went through months and months and months, and I found the cheapest tickets I could. I think it worked out at 520 bucks. They differ. The range that I saw in those 2 months that I searched was between $520 to even $2,040 for a ticket. So you can decide what is within your budget and how much money you want to spend on flight tickets to get to Panama, and then in accordance with that, book your ticket. But don't just pick a date and stick to it. First, see what the rates are before you pick your date. So what we did is, after we picked our dates on TurkishAirlines.com, the free accommodation now applied to us. What happens is, once you land in Istanbul and you go through the airport to the outside, then you take a right and you look for Starbucks, or you can even ask anybody for Starbucks. Right next to the Starbucks is the hotel help desk. You check in there, and then they arrange for transportation from the airport to the hotel. It's a 4-star hotel, and it's really convenient. Now, when going into transit, you obviously book your luggage the first day when you start your trip, and you only get your luggage back in Panama. So at least that's not a problem when you're in Istanbul or wherever your layover is. When it is in Istanbul though, please take care when going through security. The people that work at the security checkpoints or at the passport control or visa control are not friends. They're not tour guides, they're not information desk help people. So try to talk to people that work for the actual flight airlines and not the security guys. They're very serious, they take their job serious, and the last thing you want is to be flagged in their eyes. When you go through the scanners, you have to take off your shoes, your belts, any jewelry, so make it easy on yourself. Do not wear a three-piece tux when flying to Panama. Put on shorts, a shirt, and some sneakers or something easy that you can just pop on and pop off of your shoes while you're going through the scanners. What happened to us, for example, is once we went through the security scanners, my husband went through first, I went through second, they pulled him out of the line and had him go into a separate scanner, a full body scanner, which he then did. That one also indicated that something was completely off on his person. They then pulled him out of there and snapped on some gloves. Yes, you all know what happened next. But wait, there's more. Just before they started to do their very thorough investigation, they felt his pockets and realized that he left his cell phone, his cigarettes, his lighter, and a whole handful of change in his pockets before he went through the scanner. So if you want to have a 3-month detour in Istanbul, by all means go for it. But if you want to go through the whole process as seamlessly as possible and just jump on a plane and be done with it, try to avoid keeping things in your pocket while you're going through the security scanners. Yes, lesson learned. Then once we got to the hotel, it was a really comfortable hotel. They also have complimentary meals. So we were there in time for breakfast, we got a complimentary lunch, and we got a complimentary dinner, although we slept through the lunch, but it was still fun. Then they also give you transportation back to the airport. 20 hours later, we reported back, we were fresh, we had a shower, a change of clothes. The other people who did not have the complimentary accommodation were already completely tired. There was nothing left. They had been in the same clothes for 2 days now. They have not slept on a bed. They haven't even sat in a proper chair. So they were already spent by the time we got onto the second flight. Now bear in mind, the second flight that goes from Istanbul to Panama is 17 hours long. If I can give you very, very good advice, the first thing you do when you get onto the plane is greet all of the cabin personnel. Ask them their names. Be polite. That's gonna make the difference between being stuck in your seat for 17 hours, between two big people who wants to sleep on your lap, and being able to stand at the back of the plane and have lots of conversation with all the cabin crew and getting extra peanuts when they come by. See, that makes it better, doesn't it? Now, when you fly to Panama, the plane does take one last stop on that 17-hour flight, but that's in Colombia. Nobody departs the plane though. You stand there for about an hour to an hour and a half, and all of the people that flew to Colombia depart, and all of the people that wants to fly from Colombia to Istanbul also get onto the plane, but you're not allowed to get off. So if you're a smoker, don't bargain on using that for a smoke break. You will not be allowed off the plane. Once you land in Panama, they divide you into two groups as you depart the plane, right there in the airport. The one group is Panamanian citizens, and then people whose countries are on the friendly nation visa list. They get sent to one side, and then everybody whose countries is not listed on that list was huddled together and was kept separate. The people who went through, like us South Africans who are on the friendly nations visa list, were through into the airport immediately, and you could carry on to passport control and then carry on to baggage claim. The other people, they get huddled together, and I'm not sure what happened to them. They might be alive still, who knows. So once you get your luggage, you cannot get your luggage before you go through passport control. When you're on the plane from Colombia to Panama, they give you 2 forms to fill out. Your normal declaration forms stating where you'll live in the country. Make sure that you have an address within Panama that you can put on those forms. You need a Panamanian address, which is the address you will be visiting. Then, once you go through passport control, they're going to ask you for those forms. They're going to see if there's anything that you have to declare, and then they're going to ask you a few questions. You guys can be honest with them. If you're planning on immigrating, that means you're coming on a friendly nation's visa, and then once you're here, your lawyer's going to assist you and you're going to apply for permanent residency. Tell them that. Tell them that you're here now on a visit and you're planning to apply for permanent residency. If you're only here for a holiday, tell them that you're here on a holiday and you're going to be here for this, however long it's going to be. And then if you're here for retirement, same deal. Tell them the truth. It's not a trick question. They're not going to put you on a plane back to South Africa or wherever you came from. It's just to make sure that you're not being uncomfortable, that you're not lying to them, for in case you're doing something illegal that they need to be aware of. So just talk to them. And that's the only reason why they're asking you the questions. Once you get your baggage though, after baggage claim, then you go through another security point where they scan your baggage. So make sure that you declare. The last thing you want is to be so close to being out and then them confiscating your baggage and putting you on a plane and saying sorry ne. So declare. I had some medicine, just like headache pills and whatever. I declared all of that. He just looked at my form. I don't think you even could read what was on it, because not a lot of people can read or write English. Most of them only Spanish. And then that was it. We were here. The second thing that I would recommend to you is, once you get to Panama City, no matter what your end destination is, be it Boquete, be it Volcan, or anywhere else in Panama, once you get to Panama City, for that night, book into an hotel and stay over in Panama City. You're going to be tired, you're going to be jet lagged, you're going to want to rest a little bit, and be sure to use a hotel that has a shuttle service to the airport. You're going to get off there and you're going to be shocked to see how little people understand English. And the last thing you want is to have to try and explain to someone while you don't have a phone, don't have internet access to use a Google Translate app or whatever. Now you have to explain to someone where you're trying to go. So get a company that has a shuttle service that can pick you up on the airport, take you to the hotel, and then just relax. Take the afternoon, chill out, go to the pool, and just be glad you're in Panama. Do some selfies showing welcome to Panama and post it everywhere. Inform your family you're safe, but just relax. The next day we'll worry about the next travel points. And then congratulations guys, you have arrived. You're in Panama now.